Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jeana'e Jackson.
And I'm Brittany Lau.
And you're watching Coog Cinema Reviews.
Now, Valentine's Day may be over, but love is still in the air because today we are going to be discussing the highly anticipated To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You. So this movie follows Lara Jean and Peter as they pursue a real-life relationship. But trouble arises when Lara Jean reunites with another recipient of one of her love letters.
Oof.
Oof, indeed. So what do we think of this movie?
I loved the movie. I really thought that the cinema... I love the cinematography. Why do I say cinema photography?
It's close.
Okay.
It's just a fusion, but we're good.
I love the visuals in this movie. I definitely appreciated the 80s theme vibe that they had throughout the entire movie, from the outfits to the music.
Yes, I have to say, I love that even though this movie is set in modern day, they still give you like little tidbits of 80s themes, especially if you look at Lara Jean's fashion. You can tell by her wardrobe the shift in tone of the movie, which I thought was so cool.
I thought that was cool too.
She usually dresses in super vibrant, super stylish clothes, and then all of a sudden it takes a dramatic shift and she doesn't dress like herself.
She doesn't.
And it's so weird,
It's
but
weird.
It is cool though.
Like throughout the movie when she's going through all the things that she's going through with her love interest, it's like she wakes up one morning and she's like, oh, well, I'm not feeling it today. And we're like, oof, Lara Jean.
This ain't Lara Jean.
This is not Lara Jean.
This is
like,
not the Lara Jean I know.
But all the outfits were spot on.
I'm not gonna lie. I have been listening to the movie soundtrack
the
last couple of days.
I actually told myself that I was going to download that soundtrack because it was so good. Like throughout the entire movie, we were just jamming like.
I really appreciate the effort that they've put in with like the mellowness of the songs, and it really fit the aesthetics of the movie, and I love it. And I especially love that they used a particular song for a scene. Blackpink, Kill This Love.
Let's kill this love.
It's a really famous K-pop song, and that got me.
Got her.
That got me. Oof.
But yes, overall, the music was really good for the entire movie. You can definitely tell that they had a higher budget for the second one than the first one.
That is true.
I'm just saying, they did, because it's kind of like a day and night difference of everything, so that definitely helps with like them kind of bumping it up a little bit, because we can see all of it, from the visuals, the costumes, everything. So good job, guys.
I was gonna say, definitely you can tell because they got a lot more exterior shots. Like the first one, it was cute, and I love the first one, but I like that in the second one they go out more and you can see like the dates that they're going on. Like, oh, can we talk about the Lantern Festival?
The Lantern Festival was so cute.
So beautiful. I love that. And then the carnival scene. And then they went out, like even the nursing home, like at Bellevue.
That was cute too.
Was like, some rich dude donated this house. Some rich dude donated this as a nursing home.
We need answers. Where did this beautiful nursing home just come from with these lavish rooms and pools? But shout out to Lara Jean for getting that volunteership, with John. John.
One thing that I want to point out is that I noticed that this franchise has an interesting use of Longshots.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
I did.
I also think that they use a lot of symmetry, which is really cool. And that kind of goes into the set design, but even then, it's so visually appealing.
There's a lot happening in every single scene, especially when they're showing Lara Jean at school.
I legitimately think that everything that was captured within the frame had a purpose, and it kind of gave you more insight into the world that these characters live in.
It definitely gave you more insight, and it kind of almost foreshadowed what was going to happen next, just with small things in each scene. So that was kind of cool, because there would be some parts where Brittany would be like, hey, did you see that? And I'd be like, wait, no. And then we have to like rewind and go back and be like, I saw that. Nice eye on that. So yes, all those nice shots, wide angles, you got all the goods in there, guys.
Now, I have to say, One thing that I really love about this movie is the Asian American representation in film.
We love to see it.
I just think that they tastefully executed certain aspects of Korean culture, which is really cool. As a partial Asian American, I love seeing an Asian leading lady on screen because I relate to that.
And I thought it was really sweet how whenever there's a scene in the movie where they're all kind of having like a dinner for kind of in reverence of her mom, it was a nice touch of like, okay, that's really cute. You guys are still keeping the traditions of Lara Jean's mom, so that was nice to see.
Yeah, and it wasn't forced either, which is what I really liked. It was just like,
it was really natural.
It wasn't focused on like, hey, this film is about a girl who's Asian. It was just like, this film is about a girl who's in love and she happens to be Asian. So I really enjoyed seeing them wearing their traditional Korean hanboks and bowing to their elders, which is really cool. And they're having their traditional Korean meal. Also, I have to say, my man Ross Butler, one of my man crushes, he was a great addition to the cast as Trevor. He was so funny, and I just love looking at his handsome face. He's beautiful.
So one thing that I really enjoyed watching throughout the movie was LJ's connection and relationship with her sister and her dad. I thought that was really cool because oftentimes I feel like people get the idea that, oh my goodness, we can't talk to our fathers about sex or boys.
Dude, he is the epitome of the cool dad.
He's like cool dad vibes / goals, # we love him.
The family dynamic is just so
relatable.
Yeah, believable, relatable, whatever you want to call it. Even from like the bickering between Lara Jean and Kitty, like that felt like a real sister relationship.
Exactly. Just as a viewer watching the movie, I felt like, okay, this is an actual family that I feel like I would run into somewhere. And so I definitely like that because it wasn't forced and everything was just natural.
Kitty is so sassy and I love her. I love how she just meddles into other people's relationships.
She does.
She's just playing matchmaker. But that's what makes her charming. Like, she's so annoying.
She's so annoying. She's like that younger sister that you just want to like, but then you're like, okay, you're actually really cute and you kind of help me out, but don't let it get to your head.
And you kind of help me out, but like, get out of my room.
And she has no problem telling everyone that she helped her sister out. So that was cute.
I really enjoyed the fact that this movie touched on the concept of life after happily ever after, because in a lot of rom-coms, you know, all we see is the grandiose gesture that the guy or girl makes. They rush to the airport, they are on a high-speed chase in a taxi going off to catch their lover, and then all is well, they make up, they kiss, and then the movie ends. But what happens after that? I like that they touch on the struggles of maintaining a committed relationship. You know, what are these characters going to do in order to fight for their feelings, their relationship? Yeah.
I had to remember, wait, they're like 16 in high school. This is not, you know, they're not adults going through this. So that's also another dynamic of just realizing the balance of, okay, this is really cheesy and corny, but this is also very, they are going through some things to be in high school. Like Lara Jean's experience with all of her love interests are just like, this is deep. So definitely like after happily ever after, watching her and Peter like get through all of these hurdles together was very interesting.
I think that the material really stays true to the characters in the sense that like these are teenagers and they are fickle with their feelings, you know? They can like someone one day and then all of a sudden they are like in love with someone else. So I really found that the plot of having feelings for more than one person was really relatable, because just because you're in a relationship, it doesn't mean that your attraction to other people just goes away.
And I definitely appreciated that too, because Lara Jean, you know, she is young, she is in high school, and so it was good to see her like have these love interest problems that most girls in high school deal with, but at the same time it's like she's still entitled to have these feelings and to go through these things. So just because you're young doesn't mean that, you know, you don't go through things that any other adult would go through. It would just be kind of on a different level.
Because she's still trying to figure out what she wants.
And who she is, honestly, at the same time.
Even though we really like this movie.
And we did.
Obviously, not everything was perfect, and there are some issues that we have to discuss.
We're gonna have to discuss these issues, okay?
Like for me, one of the things that I found a little problematic was the pacing of the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just felt like the beginning, it was okay, it felt a little fast, and we were kind of just like jumping into things, especially after she receives John Ambrose's letter. And then the middle was kind of steady, and then at the end, all of a sudden it was like, stuff just happens again. And I'm like, whoa.
What is going on? I was watching the movie, and before it was ending, I'm like, okay, it's about to be over. Like, I literally could tell that the movie was about to end, and that was kind of a problem for me because I felt, A, that I needed more, B, it was kind of rushed. Like, not even kind of, it was rushed. And I definitely feel as though they could have taken more time to just focus on certain scenes and focus on John more. Just, there were a lot of things that I feel like they could have taken time on. And so for me, it was just like, why are we rushing? It's already over, and I'm incomplete with this movie.
Yeah, another thing that I found to be kind of weird was some of the transitions.
Oh,
like,
God.
I don't know about you, but there was a scene where Lara Jean opens John Ambrose's letter and she's contemplating how she should go about it, if she even wants to write him back. I know that they were trying to signify a passage in time, but the way that the way that they transitioned it looked like she evaporated into air, or she just like straight up teleported.
Yeah.
Because one minute she's standing up in one position, all of a sudden she just like disappears, and then the camera pans down and she's on the floor like, I'm gonna write back to him.
And me and Brittany were like, wait, is this the same scene? And so we had to go back to catch that, oh, so we're transitioning into a new day, but we did not grasp that at all.
Well, like I knew what they were trying to do, but it was just so abrupt and weird.
It was just really weird.
Yeah. So I have to ask, what did you think about the interactions between John Ambrose and Peter?
Okay, so right off the bat, obviously Peter, he was gonna be a little jealous. I definitely get that. However, I wish I would have seen more interactions of them throughout the movie. I felt like they really only had one moment of just it being awkward, and I kind of wanted more of that.
Yeah,
because,
seriously.
Like, even though it was awkward watching them be awkward, I wanted more awkwardness. That's what I wanted. And so definitely wish they would have kind of given us more.
They really only had that one interaction together, which was in the treehouse.
That was the only time.
And honestly, I felt like the execution of it was kind of weak.
It was weak.
You know?
It definitely was. I feel like they needed to incorporate that into the movie. Like, okay, we obviously have to show Peter and John a little bit, so let us have them in the scene. All right, we did that, and let's move on. I'm just like, wait, whoa, so that's it?
Yeah, I wanted to see more defensiveness from Peter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I really wanted him to just really go in and fight for his relationship, and I think I might have wanted to see that through a face-to-face confrontation with just him and John Ambrose, like without Lara Jean being there, and just having like this man-to-man
conversation.
Yeah.
Also too, I feel because Lara Jean's character, she's not really the confrontational type, so I definitely feel like she did not intentionally stood in the way, but obviously she was kind of like that barrier between Peter and John of like them really being able to go at it, especially in the treehouse scene. Y'all are all together.
Yep.
You cannot avoid this happening.
She
like
set herself
it's gonna come out. Like why?
Yeah. Kind of going with the Peter and John Ambrose thing, I thought that the flashbacks between present Lara Jean and John Ambrose to like childhood was really cute.
That was
but
cute.
I would have wanted to see Peter's dynamic within
True.
their friendship because, you know, they all have known each other for so long that I would have wanted to see, since Lara Jean was in love with him almost around the same time, like how was that dynamic between the three of them? So that's something, it's a little nitpicky, but I would have wanted to see that.
I think you're not being nitpicky, but there was so much that was in the movie that happened. It's like you really do have to just like dissect each individual just aspect of it. So love that.
So what do you think about Peter and Jen's weird relationship.
Okay, so
Complicated relationship.
it's definitely complicated. And so when I first was introduced to Jan, obviously was not a big fan of her because I thought she was just that mean girl in high school that was a hater for no reason. However, as you are learning more about Jan and just learning more about like how she is and why she is the way she is, I get it. You know, her parents are going through a divorce, and so she feels like she has Peter because his parents also went through a divorce. So I get that. However, it's like, you know what you're doing. You're trying to be sneaky because you hating that Lara Jean is with Peter, and so you trying to get between their relationship. But overall, Jen turned out to be okay, I guess.
And Lara Jean won.
And she won. So, as earlier, we mentioned that some of the scenes were cut off kind of abruptly. We had some weird transitions. And so, with the movie ending so quickly, for me personally, I had a question towards the end, and Brittany's looking at me because she knows, she's heard this before. We're like, did we really need a movie for this? Or could have been a series? I personally feel like because the movies are literally, an hour, almost an hour, they could have been a series. The first one could have been like season 1, second movie could have been season 2, and then third movie obviously could have been season 3. So I personally don't feel like we needed a movie for that. Just make it a series so we can watch our little 45-minute episodes and just be done and go on about our life. Not watch a whole movie and then be like, wait, what? That's over?
I agree. I think it could have worked either way. I think I'm not mad about it being a film, but I think I see where it could work as a series, especially if they left like the season finale of the first season with John Ambrose coming back.
I mean, I'm not like, I guess I'm like kind of upset about it, but I'm not like really, really mad about it. I just feel like because things were just cut so short for me, I just feel I would have enjoyed it more as a series.
I get that.
But I still like the movie. Still cute.
So, as we come to an end, I have to ask, do you think that Lara Jean picked the right guy?
Okay, so this is a touchy.
Get ready for this.
So, I feel that Lara Jean chose the right person for her. For me as a viewer, no, I don't think she chose the right person, okay? I think that she really is truly meant to be with John. She talks about how when she's with John, it's just so easy and she doesn't have to like try anything. But then it's like when she's with Peter, it's like, oh my God, Peter. But I'm just like, but when you're with John, it's so different when you're with him. And we see that.
It's kind of like the case of the grass is always greener on the other side.
True,
yeah.
true.
But in a way, I feel like as a viewer, we're kind of like the overprotective mom that is like, this is the guy that you need to be with.
We don't want you to get hurt.
He's such a great guy. He's handsome. Yeah. He gets good grades. He's in Model UN. He has a great credit score.
Right.
I don't know that about him, but just assuming.
In high school, we're talking about their credit scores, like.
But yeah, I mean, I think her and John Ambrose, just their chemistry was also so
It was
cute.
so cute.
But he deserves so much better.
He did. I don't know. I really felt like whenever she had the opportunity to like stand up for him or kind of just to be there was always just kind of like a letdown. And then he just went on his merry way of like, okay, well, I'm still here for you because you're Lara Jean and we're friends. I'm just like, but no, what about you, John?
I don't want to give any spoilers, but can we talk about that one scene where they were just like, and then Lara Jean just,
There were some moments between John and Lara Jean for sure that got a little spicy, you know, but then she had to kind of like remove herself from the situation because she's like, oh, Peter. And I'm like, oh, because he's a total afterthought because you really want to be with John. Boom.
Then she's like, I kissed him and I wanted him to be someone else.
Also too,
like,
okay, I'm not gonna spoil that, but towards the end of the movie, you're gonna see her like literally doing one thing and then like not even 10 minutes later, she's like doing another thing. You're like, girl, what are you doing?
Well, thank you guys for watching this episode of Coog Cinema Reviews.
If you want to catch more episodes, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Coog TV.
And thanks for watching.
Peace out.